Capot. So I'm working with the French Development Agency, which is both a bilateral development agency as well as a financial institution with about $10 billion of annual commitment. Climate change issues are a key element of our schemes worldwide. We are working in 70 countries. And actually, climate change finance accounts for about half of our annual commitments now. So as Mr. Capot said, we are working with SIDBI, which was actually the first non-sovereign financing provided by AFD in India. So we've been present in India for a quite limited period of time. Coming back to the subject, indeed, my colleagues were mentioning the increasing cost of energy. That should be a very important parameter to have in mind. And anticipating an increase in the price of energy, among the barriers to investments listed today and yesterday was, for instance, the I would say low-hanging fruit investments for which the payback period is not very big, and which does not require any credit or loan from a bank. So an idea would be maybe to blend and to have a blended energy efficiency package involving both low-hanging fruit investments with a very limited, very short payback period, as well as heavier investments, so that for which, of course, the payback period is much longer, and to have, in average, something to present to the banker. And I think that if both measures are taken simultaneously, it can definitely help promoters to present an application to the banker who will be more interested in like package investments. Coming back on the macroeconomic situation of India, I would like to highlight the fact, as you know, that I think about all the small promoters, and especially in the informal sector. Informal companies are constituting a sizable share of MSMEs in India. And so for me, even if it's not necessarily finance, is a key issue for us as a barrier for investment in energy efficiency, is awareness. Because SMEs and MSMEs are not necessarily aware of the link between energy efficiency and competitiveness. And competitiveness is often seen as how to produce more, and it should be how to produce better. And deficiencies in information in many sectors and in many countries in which AFD operates result in such rationale. Today's cost supplant tomorrow's hypothetical savings and returns. So, and an example, even in India, for instance, when we have to invest, the only element is the cost of the equipment right now. We don't care about maintenance, even if, because it has an immediate cost. And if we go beyond that, if we can disseminate information according to which, indeed, having to incur some expenses for maintenance and for energy efficiency can bring ultimately to an increase in profit, it's a challenge. So how to help promoters to go beyond this path? And I again specifically think about small MSMEs with limited capacities in terms of accountancy, because we noted in the presentation that we need to have a DPR, investment payback, which is, I would say, a foreign language for most of promoters. And so I would like to highlight things that are maybe far from the topic, but to have how to accompany companies in such in such an investment path. The first one is to resort for them to, I would say, what I call natural advisors, company with no or limited accounting capacity can resort. For instance, it's exactly the same situation in France in the agricultural sector, for instance, where you have farmers not aware of how to have a balance sheet or have to what is my expenses and revenues. So it's to resort to a kind of management centers with people that can help, I would say, draw up a balance sheet to have a patrimonial view of the company, the expenses, and how to invest. An idea also would be to develop, I would say, what we call a single counter approach, physical as well as digital, to address various MSMEs needs, because actually energy efficiency is just one part of competitiveness and needs from MSMEs. So for instance, to take a French example, actually we are working with CIDB. There is an equivalent called OSEO in France, which is, I would say, an overall actor. And these companies can resort to this specific, specialized and dedicated institution that can offer some services ranging from energy efficiency. For instance, you can have some subsidized loans to invest in energy efficiency, but also to have some advice on export. As you know, MSMEs in India accounts for 40% of export, or for 45 or 50% of the industrial output. And advisory, guarantee schemes, etc. So I would say, again, a package for that. The awareness is also to get the information at one place. And one also what we have in place, for instance, in our country for small companies, it is a single internet portal with listing all directory, listing all schemes and support that can be resorted to by MSMEs. And as far as AFD is concerned. So the solution we are trying to propose, to offer in the countries in which we are intervening, is also to blend different financial tools to trigger investments. So for instance, so soft loans, of course, with subsidized lines, even if indeed if profit comes ultimately, we have to trigger this approach. Second is to also offer some guarantee scheme and to bring a leverage because it's good to finance. We can also bring some guarantee, because another problem for MSMEs is to bring collateral for investment to take a loan from a bank. And finally is also technical assistance. Technical assistance to the sectors themselves, the clusters, etc., but also with, I would say, the specialized banks to bring some capacity buildings for loan officers to appraise energy efficiency projects. And I think the blending of all these financial tools can be also part of a solution, even if there is no single solution. Thank you.